And now for something completely different.
Bastards.
Bastard.
We have hot water. Yay! Our hot water tank broke.
Her water broke.
And then he got me another. About time. He was getting kind of stinky, you know.
Yeah, well, at least the flies were around my upper area.
Hey, I took care of things.
As far as you are concerned.
I always take care of things. He was stinky.
As far as the claptrap was concerned.
109.5, the clap.
109.5, the clap.
You have to be on our live to get that joke.
This is Brad's radio station. 109.5, the clap.
Record Hound, one of our long-standing viewers, has sent me some FM jokes, so we'll put it in this video.
Some funny stuff. Yeah.
109.5, the
DJ,
clap.
oh my God,
109.5, the clap.
Anyhow, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about,
not the life support, Brad. No.
you plagiarist. That's a Chubby Brown joke.
Maybe it is.
It is. He says, I unplugged my wife's life support machine the other day. Fucking fridge.
That's right. I love Chubby. He's good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Love Frankie too.
Yes.
Actually, two comedians that seem to bring up the best and the worst of people in the UK. Like.
Oh, it's very divided.
Yeah, like some of our.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Like. They both get a lot of views, like more so than most of our things. So, but
some people either just hate them or
they love them or they hate them. Like there's no middle ground. It's really interesting. We in Canada.
I'm just here for the beer and the bitches. You know?
We enjoy all kinds of comedy, so we don't care, and it's all new to us, and we don't know the background and the history of a lot of people.
I'm not familiar with
so I don't have
history.
I don't have the bias that like as far as I'm concerned, they're just funny because I don't know anything else about them really.
No.
But when people learn about them, I guess when they grow up with them and they see stuff they don't like, then it's game off. They don't want to watch them anymore.
I suppose, yeah.
I guess we do that here too. Maybe there's some people we don't like in Canada anymore. I don't know.
I don't like somebody, I just won't watch them. You know?
Yeah.
Who cares? Like,
yeah, that's right.
If they're funny, they're funny. I don't have to.
Yeah. Nobody's twisting your arm to watch it, folks. You know.
Oh God.
Although we do appreciate it.
Pick up right where we left off. Brad bitching like a fucking little girl.
Well, like as some people are like, give me a big long speech and a comment about how inappropriate this comic was. I'll tell you. Meh.
He enjoyed it very much.
So, I don't know, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Just, go watch something else. It's fine. Don't judge others. We're just having fun.
It's all fun and games.
I'm not evil for watching it, All right.
Somebody pops a vein in their eyeball from laughing too much.
Anyhow, if you don't want to watch all this, just skip ahead and watch Frankie. Or don't. Oh, also... I want before.
There's more.
There's more. We do have a Frankie Boyle playlist.
Yes.
And so click in the description. You can watch all of his stuff if you like Frankie. If you don't like him, then don't watch him.
Then we have a lot of other very good content on there.
Okay. All right, here we go. So this is Mock the Week, the best of Frankie Boyle.
Okay.
And we've really enjoyed these Mock the Weeks ones. We've done Milton Jones and Stuart Francis and a bunch of others. Francis.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Abu Hamza. Abu Hamza, part man, part coat hanger, has said that even though he's in America, his heart is in Mecca and his arm is in Afghanistan. The British police arrested him and then released him because they realised just how difficult it would be to make it look like he'd hung himself in his cell. The Americans want him to help with their investigations into 9/11 because they've got a black box they're having a lot of difficulty opening. Okay, education. Who wants to go for that? Frankie's up.
The government's new education policy apparently is to make children stay at school till they're 18. It's just not living in the modern world, is it? 17-year-olds having to go to school. Who's going to pick their kids up from primary? The Catholic Church have got a big thing this week. They say they don't want sex education in schools because that's like giving the kids pornography, as opposed to the traditional Catholic method of educating them, of actually shagging them.
That might apply.
Sex education at my school was a muttered warning about the janitor.
Feeny, lay
The
down.
next topic is transport. Who wants to come in on that?
Dog. Lay down.
Now, I never travel by Virgin Trains on the principle that it's not a great recommendation if the guy who owns the train network chooses to travel by hot air balloon. What is it with the new toilets on trains? What was wrong with a toilet door that just locked? Now it's like this multiple choice system. So if anything goes wrong, you're going to be sitting there while the whole wall slowly slides away. And you're unveiled like a prize on a quiz show. For 500 points, a shitting woman.
Frankie, do you want to take a crack at that topic?
Nice choice of phrase there.
Thank you very much.
Have you seen all this stuff about gay adoption? What's the controversy? I'd have loved to have had a gay dad. Do you remember all that stuff at school? Oh, my dad'll batter your dad. My dad could batter your dad. Listen, my dad'll shag your dad.
That's awesome.
And your dad'll enjoy it.
It is, of course, national surveys. Anyone want to try something on that? Good man, Frankie.
They've done a survey in America that says that Osama bin Laden is now more famous than Michael Jackson. And you think, yeah, but he puts a lot less effort into his videos, doesn't he? It really freaked the Americans out if he just threw in a wee moonwalk now and again. Hey, more famous than Michael Jackson, but who would you rather have looking after your kids? They did a survey this week that said that 20% of British men have a problem with premature ejaculation. The others just don't think it's really a problem. Sex and an early night. They brought out a condom for premature ejaculation, and basically it's got an anaesthetic in the lining, so it makes you numb and you can last for longer. Or you can wear it inside out and you don't have to wake anybody up.
On the same topic, Frankie, it's your turn.
Apparently in America they're building a big tower on the site of September 11th, Freedom Tower, and they're looking at ways of trying to make it terrorist proof. I think they should have just built a giant mosque. No one's going to fly into that, are they? Or even better, a runway. How galling would it be if you hijacked a plane then had to come in and make a textbook landing? They're always going, oh, don't deal with terrorists. We mustn't deal with terrorists. Let's deal with them. What's Al offering you boys? 100 virgins? We'll give you 50 slags. Or 2 women from Dundee.
Frankie, it's your turn.
Oh, God.
We know we've got this thing now, extreme rendition, where basically they fly people out to torture them. And those flights stop in Scotland. I mean, this is horrendous. People being denied basic human rights, orange jumpsuits. How are we supposed to tell these flights apart from EasyJet? EasyJet probably would torture you. They'd just charge you for it as an extra. You want a sack on your head and pissed on, sir? That'll be €6. Is this really what we want to do with Islamic fundamentalist terrorists? Make sure they're all on planes? Isn't that a bit like when they used to lock the A-team into a shed full of old mechanical parts?
I remember that.
Topic of science and innovation.
There's no scientific progress, okay? Do you remember when NASA used to be able to put people on the moon, and now they can barely do a shuttle mission without killing everyone? Do you remember the last mission when they were pretending that everything was okay, even though that guy had to go out on a spacewalk with a makeshift hacksaw? I don't know about you, but if I was on a plane and I just watch the pilot shimmy out along the wing. Give me the big thumbs up. A makeshift hacksaw. What kind of Blue Peter operation was that? We can't hear you, Houston. The yogurt pots and string are not long enough.
The subject is the royals. Frankie.
Why have the royals sent both Prince William and Prince Harry to Sandhurst? What, is there some kind of advanced gayness that doesn't get covered at public school anymore? Do you not think life must be quite weird for Prince Harry? Getting really stoned and seeing your grand's face appearing on your money. I have a theory. A theory about Prince Philip, that he can only die once he's insulted every nation on earth. So you're the ambassador for Fiji. Finally I can die, you spear-throwing pig humper.
It is the future. Frankie.
Worrying about the future is different if you're Scottish. So like English people are worried about the euro coming in because they're worried about what it'll mean for nationality and identity. And in Scotland, we're worried that they might close down Pound Stretcher. Well, the new coins be heavy enough to throw at referees. You know, people worry about global warming, and in Scotland we think, about time. I don't know if you've been to Scotland, but you'll have noticed not a lot of Scottish people have wind chimes in their house. It'd be like having tinnitus. And the winter is a tremendously difficult time of year for Scottish men to get laid, because Scottish women wear so many clothes. It's difficult to get at them. You know how in the movies and that, a young man's sexual rite of passage is the first time he manages to get a woman's bra strap undone. In Scotland, it's the first time you get a button off in her duffel coat. Oh, just another 2 to go. Then I've got my hands on that fleece. It's layers up there. Having a gangbang in Scotland's like playing pass the parcel.
Like Canada.
With oven mitts on.
Subject is charity. Frankie.
That could be fun.
I tell you what I hate is comic relief. People sitting in a bath full of beans for starving Africans. Send them the bloody beans. Homeless charities. You know, how come it is that we can get charities that will take like all the dogs off the streets and provide them at homes, but we can't do that for people? I'd like to see a TV show like Tramp Rescue. Walks and drinking heavily, arguing over games of pool. Perhaps you could provide a home for Kenny. We never knowingly put a healthy tramp down. I know you think it's a bit rich, a Scottish person standing talking about homelessness in London, but those people you see on the streets aren't actually tramps. They're Scottish tourists who consider their own clothing to be 2-star accommodation. I enjoyed Live Aid. It was good to see so many rock stars donating their time to Bob Geldof, much as his wife donated herself to so many of them in the 1980s. Ultimately, if you can't afford to bring up your child, why not send him to Africa, where you can pay to have him brought up for £15 a month, standing order? And you'll get to meet Lenny Henry.
Airport security. Frankie.
Say airport security is inconvenient. It's inconvenient if you're a white guy. If you've got a beard and a turban, you're about 18 months away from having to fly naked on a clear plastic plane. I was disgusted, you know, by that flight from Malaga where the 2 guys got thrown off because the passengers said they looked dodgy because they were Muslim. Now that's got to hurt, hasn't it? You're getting called dodgy by the sort of scumbags who are flying back from Malaga. Okay, buddy, I'm Muslim, but you're covered in tattoos and 12 years older than your own son.
Lucky you, it's the Labour cabinet.
Oh, jeez.
John Reid's got a stupid new idea. He wants to make criminals pay compensation to their victims. What if they've not got any money? And go do community service for them. Hey, I'm here to do your garden. Remember me? I murdered your husband. He's wanting to force through ID cards. Now, ID cards don't mean that your identity won't be stolen. It just means that once it's stolen, you're screwed. I've left my wallet in the hotel. I'm going to need new eyeballs and a finger transplant.
The subject is the Middle East.
Right on it.
You know when everything kicked off in Lebanon, all the Scandinavian countries evacuated all their people the minute anything happened. Do you know where they put them? Syria. What was that called? Operation Out of the Frying Pan. And then we had bombs coming through Prestwick Airport to be dropped on civilians over there. I mean, it's really grim. But I suppose our only hope is that Prestwick Airport will have done their usual, got it all mixed up with their luggage. Lebanon will have got bombed with stuff Scottish folk are trying to bring back from their holidays. You switch on the news to see a children's school getting levelled by 40,000 packets of Benson and Hedges.
Well done, Frankie Boyle. The topic is Scotland.
Well, of course.
I have this covered. Is that your image of Scotland? You know that's three English blokes at a wedding? Do you remember years ago when they were making Braveheart, everyone said, oh, it's ridiculous, Mel Gibson playing a Scottish guy. That's not going to be very convincing. And look at him now, an alcoholic racist.
Oh my God.
The most Scottish thing I've ever seen, I was going through a town called Bathgate at about 11:30 at night, and there was a guy pissing against the front door. He then took out his keys and went inside.
It's science.
Oh, God.
My favourite science thing recently was that thing where the European Space Agency had a successful probe that crash landed on the moon. Now, to me, nothing is that successful if it crashes. That's a bit like saying that you've swum the channel because your corpse has been washed up on a beach. We've now got face transplant technology. Surely the best thing about having a face transplant is that you get to turn up at the donor's funeral and go, whoa. Have you ever heard that science thing that if you put a frog into boiling water, it'll jump out, but if you put it into a pan of cold water and heat it up, it won't realise and it'll die? Or to put it another way, scientists have a lot of time on their hands. Shall we have a go at curing cancer? No, I'm going to see how many fruit pastels it takes to choke a kestrel.
It's true.
Yeah.
And the topic is sport.
Apparently at Scotland games now at Hampden, they've actually banned food from the ground, and they search you when you're going in to make sure that you've not got food on you. Nice to see that we've got our priorities right, isn't it? What's this, sir, a knife? I hope you weren't planning on making sandwiches. Now, a Scottish guy is the #1 British tennis player. I've not checked my Nostradamus, but isn't that one of the harbingers of the apocalypse? The only time I'd previously seen a Scottish guy playing tennis, it was someone playing charades, attempting to mime the word homosexual.
It's science.
Scientists have just built the world's biggest ever super collider, and they're doing an experiment to find out what makes up protons. I hope that if the experiment's successful, the whole of our reality will dissolve and a big sign will come up that says, Level 2. I always wondered, you know that woman that had the face transplant? See if she gave you a blowjob, would that technically count as a threesome?
Political correctness. Who would like to go? Frankie!
He's
Now,
perfect for
political
that.
correctness has changed everything. People forget that even political correctness itself used to be called spastic gay talk. It's not politically correct to say don't give money to charity. I mean, we might want to give money to Africa, but money takes no account of cultural difference or the reality of those people's lives. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you give him a fishing rod, he'll break it up for firewood. Or swap it for a fish.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's good.
Who's going to win the race? The next topic is Scotland. Frankie.
Scotland is officially the most obese nation in Europe. You'd have to wonder what we'd be like if it wasn't for all the heroin. They were talking about making the next Bond Scottish. I was glad they didn't, because Bond was always travelling to all these different countries. If he was Scottish, he'd never get out the duty free. Come on, Bond, we've only got 18 hours to save the world. It's all very well, Q. Have you seen the price of these little bottles of Stella? Always drinking, Bond, never actually gets drunk. It would have been good to see it just once. Try to phone Q in his ring. I fucking love you, man!
Subject is the environment. Who's going to come in on that one? Oh, Frankie.
Stephen Hawking has just come out and said that global warming might turn the Earth into a cloud of boiling gas. That's Hawking for you. I think I could have worked that out if I just sat about on my arse all day. Ryanair are getting a hard time from the government because they're not doing enough to combat global warming. And you think, well, air travel isn't good for the environment. And surely no one has done more to put people off flying than Ryanair. Nothing punctures that James Bond image quite like being sold peanuts by a stewardess who looks like she survived Hiroshima. There's no way that Ryanair are as big a polluter as China, although Ryanair do have a worse record on human rights.
That's crime.
Crime looking a lot like bird flu there, but... yeah, they're going to bring in super Asbos. Now, I mean, Asbos already sounds too cool. Teenagers see it as a badge of honour. They should call them Gaybos or Bender badges. I tell you, the TV show I'd love to see, CSI Glasgow. Well, they've done some preliminary tests and it looks like the intruder definitely did a jobbie on the carpet. We got this thing on DVDs now where they say DVD piracy funds the drugs trade. Funds the drugs trade. I don't know about you, but I reckon if you can't make money out of heroin, you're going to struggle in general. Oh, the problem with this crack cocaine is people can just take it or leave it. Thank God we're still selling the Harry Potters.
Yeah, by process of elimination, Frankie, away you go.
Latvian runners.
I'm guessing that's sport.
It's sport. Oh, did I not? Oh, I thought we were still on men's health, to be honest. I thought we were still dangerous to, dangerous to the testicles, really. That's what that picture seems to indicate to me. Okay, we'll, let's do it again. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. Do you want to go? Yeah, there we go. Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. I'm guessing sport.
They say that the Olympics is going to rekindle English national pride. I mean, come on, for 9.2 billion, you could have written "fuck off Germany" onto the moon.
Oh my God.
It's good they're holding the Olympics in the East End of London. It means the athletes will have to use extra skill to work out which of the gunshots they heard was the starting pistol. Glasgow's getting in the act. Glasgow's bidding for the Commonwealth Games. Be good to finally see an international athletics event with a crowd fail a drugs test. The East End of Glasgow is already like an Olympic village. Lots of people who struggle to speak English wandering around in tracksuits. I'm looking forward to our opening ceremony, seeing them lighting that torch from a smouldering Ford Focus.
Topic is celebrity.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a bit of an insight into this because I've got to that stage in Scotland where people recognise me but they don't know where from. So last week I got followed by two guys who thought that I was the wee bear from Boyle Selector. Apparently, Catherine Zeta-Jones lives in LA, but she has bottles of air imported from Wales. When I want my house to smell like Wales, I just kick my dog until it farts. Pete Doherty, right? Does anyone else think that Pete Doherty is quite fat for a heroin addict? What's he been cutting his heroin with? A hollandaise sauce.
Oh my god.
The next topic is health. Yeah, that says health to me.
There was a health report recently on Scotland that said that Scotland is the worst small country in Europe. And we were quite disappointed because we thought we were the worst small country in the world. Glasgow's chief health officer said that he was slightly surprised by the findings, which caused him to have a massive heart attack. Scotland does, though, have the best mental health record in Europe. And I think that's because in Scotland, you really have to go an extra bit to be judged mental. Sorry, son, we didn't realise you were a schizophrenic. We just thought you were a bit of a character.
That's good.
Okay, the next topic is the Royals. Frankie.
I liked the tour where Prince Charles went to India with Camilla. This year, like proper rural India as well. You know that half the people that saw them were going, Diana's let herself go.
Oh my god.
Apparently they couldn't send Prince Harry to Iraq because they couldn't afford the resources required to start developing factor 60,000 sunblock. Poor old Harry had his uniform packed. Was a 1941 SS Stormtrooper. In many ways, Harry's just a typical British squaddy, isn't he? In that he has absolutely no idea who his real father is.
Oh, jeez.
And it's drinking.
It's a teetotal alcoholic, that should be quite good. I drink energy drinks now. It's good that they've finally managed to can anxiety. It's good that there's a drink that gives me the resting heart rate of a serial killer who's just spotted that there's a sale on at B&Q. I hate this thing where Guinness always go, we're the national drink of Ireland. Yeah, you're the national drink of a nation of alcoholics. That's like saying that you're Gary Glitter's favourite search engine. I'm teetotal, right? A concept which Scottish people don't understand. So I did a gig in Fife, and I was on stage, and this guy was going up to the bar, and he went, hey, I'll get you a drink as well. And I went, well, I used to be an alcoholic, so I don't drink anymore, but thanks anyway. And he looked at me for a bit, and then he went, pint of lager shandy.
Topic is reality television.
Oh no.
I think with Big Brother, they should make it more interactive. You know, press the red button now to release a tiger into the house. Press it twice for a serial killer in a hockey mask. 3 times releases John Leslie.
Not sure who John Leslie is.
I'll play a joke on them, you know, where they hear bombs going off in the distance. Helicopters going over the house, flames licking up around the fence. Then nothing for a few days. And then on eviction night, Davina comes over the tannoy sounding terrified and speaking in Arabic. He said that people in India were burning effigies of Jade Goody, and they weren't. It turned out they were barbecuing a pig.
And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
The next topic is Scotland.
Gotta try that.
Scotland's full of terrible places. The Pride of Kilmarnock took a bit of a knock recently when they found out that the people of Ethiopia were holding a rock concert for them. Apparently, Sean Connery said that if we get independence, he's going to come back. Brilliant. We can live off his income tax like it was a newly discovered oil field. My favourite Scottish thing ever, I was on a train from Glasgow to London the day after September the 11th happened. September the 12th, I think you'll find. And all these pissed Scottish women got on. There's a guy sat across from me, a Sikh, with a turban on. And one of them goes, "Oh, you! I hope you're not going to hijack this train. Some of us are wanting to get home tonight." What are the hijackers going to do at a train? Crash it into the buffers at Glasgow Central? Yes, we've taken down the World Trade Centre. Next it's Costa Coffee in the sock shop.
It's celebrity. There you go.
It was the anniversary of Elvis's death recently. People still think that Elvis faked his death. Surely if you were going to fake your death, you wouldn't do it in a shitting accident. I mean, you'd do something brave, wouldn't you? Rescue a wee boy from a river. Surely not a jobby-related heart attack. We had the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. I thought that at the concert, only Ricky Gervais paid a true tribute to Diana by dying a painful and horrible death. You can get celebrity sat-navs now. You can get a Princess Diana sat-nav. It just keeps saying, "Put your foot down, I think we can lose them." I'll be honest with you, that joke can go either way.
Oh my God.
The first subject is help. Going to volunteer. Frankie.
Part of the side effect of the smoking ban in Scotland is that every pub, no matter how terrible or horrible, now has tables and chairs outside it. Basically, Glasgow looks like Paris after a nuclear war. People say there's no such way as a good way to die, and those people have never heard the phrase drug-fueled sex heart attack. There's a great case in Scotland at the minute. A guy had a sex change, and he had everything chopped off. And then he decided that he wanted to change back. And they wouldn't let him. So he went to the European Court. And they said, OK, you can change back. Now he's changed his mind again. Wants to stay as he is. Typical woman.
The next topic is a war on terror. Who wants in? Frankie.
George Bush says that when he retires, he's going to make his living from speaking. Yeah, play to your strengths, eh, George? That's like Abu Hamza having a career doing shadow puppets.
I think he has no hands. No arm.
Oh, God. I guess so.
I watched the footage of Saddam being executed, and it really made me think. It made me think, is there nothing on the internet that I won't masturbate to? I mean, it's really got to bring it home to you as a great dictator when your death gets less hits than a fat Korean boy body popping.
The topic is, it's the UK. Oh, in Ireland.
I've been touring around Britain. It's been rubbish. We're in Bristol, and everybody in Bristol is just hilarious. There's a guy in the train station trying to buy a sandwich, and the woman goes, "That'll be £3, please." And he goes, "I'm not paying £3 for that." And she says, "Well, it's £3, you know, take it or leave it." And he walked off. And as he got to the door, he turned round and he went, "Well, I'll have the last laugh, right? Because I ain't even hungry." Almost topped by the restaurant I went to in Bristol, where on the toilet wall someone had drawn a massive cock, and along the shaft they'd written, "Bon appetit."
Frankie Boyle.
Sounds like something Emily would do.
Topic is Labour. Frankie.
I don't trust Alistair Darling. I don't trust anyone whose hair and eyebrows don't match. I keep wondering what his pubes look like. I wouldn't be surprised if he opened his flies and it was just a bunch of daffodils. He looks tired as well, darling, but then he does have to commute in every day from Tracy Island. Gordon Brown looks tired as well. Gordon Brown looks like a sad face that somebody's drawn onto their scrotum. Sherry Blair had her autobiography out. Can you imagine what Gordon Brown's wife's autobiography will be like? It'll be less eventful than Anne Frank's. Wednesday, stayed in, Gordon cried.
The first topic is relationships.
Oh, God.
Relationships.
I think when you go on a date with someone, it's a bit like playing cards, isn't it? There's a couple of cards you let the other person see. There's also a couple of cards that you hold to your chest. Well, as you can see, I'm punctual and employed. I'm holding untidiness and sexual deviance. I actually lost my virginity to my mother's best friend. It was my father. It was the only time he ever told me he loved me. I ran into my dad the other day in a lap dancing bar. He was making good tips. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand about sex. You know, like nudie calendars. Nudie calendars? Who's wanking going, "I can't believe it's Pancake Tuesday"?
It's celebrity.
I gotta pee.
Tom Cruise has got a creepy marriage going on, hasn't he? I reckon if you went round to their house for dinner, she'd have written "get help" in the peas.
Yeah. I think so.
You seen a photo of Amy Winehouse recently? My God, she looks like a campaign poster for neglected horses. How did Wayne Rooney manage to get married? Probably only because "I do" sounds quite a lot like "ooh, ooh." Jade Goody's just been burgled. According to the papers, she lost £100,000 worth of her most prized possessions. That is a lot of turnips.
Frankie Boyle.
Oh, fuck.
The next topic is science. Frankie.
Ooh, yay.
Viagra's overrated, isn't it? Do you know Viagra actually takes half an hour to have any effect? I often find that in that time, the woman has managed to wriggle free. You've seen this thing on phones? The word "cancer" is on predictive text. Who's texting people the news that they've got cancer? "I've got cancer." Laugh out loud. Sad face.
Frown.
Can I ask you something? How long is too long to text back to someone? My wife still thinks that I died on September the 11th. It's a good way of getting out of a relationship. A little trick I picked up off my dad shortly before his untimely death aboard the Challenger space shuttle.
Okay, the next topic is animals. Frankie Boyle.
You heard this thing that the human female has exactly the same pheromone scent as an orangutan female? It was news to me. I'll never wear a blindfold again. They told me she was a Geordie. Incidentally, there are only 2 ways to have sex with an orangutan. Carefully and every which way but loose. I hate pets. People with pets. Having a pet is just basically saying, I have tried to find love among my own species. Is there anything sadder than seeing someone with a dog picking up dog shit? Or maybe someone without a dog. I don't know how long I could be a vet before I got bored and started shagging stuff. I'd shag an owl because whatever position you took it from, you could always get eye contact. Or shag a kitten. You know, could you imagine having sex with something that you actually wanted to cuddle afterwards?
That's pretty good.
Frankie there addressing the topic of animals. Children.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What an unbelievably sinister photograph. Don't worry, this is light-hearted whimsy. I've got a wee baby now, he's 9 months. I'm starting to get a bit fucking sick of him, to be honest. I went to the bath, and going to the bath, it really does bring home the wonder, the miracle, I suppose, that is contraception. Seriously, don't go. It's like watching the deleted scenes from Platoon. I got a wee daughter now, she's 4. And the other day, this is true, we're sitting having breakfast, and my daughter goes, Daddy, what's the best thing in the world? So I didn't even have to think about it, right? I said, darling, you're the best thing in the world. Didn't even have to think about it. It's definitely you. And she sat there for a bit, and then she went, for me, it's sausages.
Cute.
The first subject is television. Who wants to come in on that? Frankie!
It's so patronising, television, isn't it? I saw a show the other day, and it was like how to sell your house kind of thing. And it said, if someone's coming around to view the house, remember to open your curtains and tidy up. Well, thanks for that. I'd been planning on redecorating using diarrhea pills and stencils, then shaving the word welcome into my dog's back. I saw a show for the first time the other day, You Are What You Eat, where a woman gets a trestle table of food in front of a fat person, and they have to pretend to feel guilty as she shows them their dream buffet. Oh, this is terrible. Could you give me 5 minutes on my own here? You've got to be careful what you say on telly. I did a cookery show, and it was 10 in the morning, and it was live, and it was the day of the Glasgow airport attack. And the presenter said, oh, you do topical stuff, don't you? And I said, yeah, like today. We don't know if that was terrorists or just Richard Hammond turning up late for check-in. You don't want to have to whisk eggs for 20 minutes while a studio full of people hate you. See, political correctness is all over television. Apparently, on television, we're now not allowed to say fairy lights because it might be homophobic. Apparently now we've got to call them poof lanterns.
First topic is pensioners. Who wants to come in on that?
Yeah, that's you.
We've just heard that Britain, for the first time, has more pensioners than teenagers. What a terrifying statistic for the country's paedophiles.
Jesus.
No wonder Gary Glitter didn't want to come back. In 20 years' time, we'll have the first generation of pensioners who can text each other. I've got Alzheimer's, man. Yeah, you told me that like 20 times already, man. to balance the economy out, what we should do, we should give pensioners more money, but only if they take up really dangerous sports. There you go, an extra £100 a week if you start quad biking through safari parks wearing a suit made from ham. It's not how old you are physically, is it? It's how old you are mentally. I mean, my granny is, what, 83? But she has the mind of a 2-year-old. Just a joke, she's dead.
Next topic is Britain's Got Talent. Frankie.
Oh no.
I like that show.
I actually watched this series of Britain's Got Talent, or as I think it should be renamed, How Bored Are Britain's Women and Homosexuals? Susan Boyle to me looks like Gordon Brown playing Mrs. Doubtfire.
Poor Susan Boyle.
She was on Oprah Winfrey in America and they subtitled her. And people in West Lothian, where she's from, were absolutely horrified, as many of them can't read. She says that she's never been kissed, and on that evidence alone, Scotland's alcohol problems are not as bad as first thought.
Oh my god, okay, is that it? Oh
Yeah.
shit, that was fast. Okay.
Yeah, that went by pretty quick.
That's because he's funny.
It's like 40 minutes and
Oh
stuff
my
there.
god, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so quick-witted.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I love that about him.
Yeah.
I love the raunchiness too.
Yeah. It's just something about the Scottish accent too that
It makes it better.
It seems like, at least from my point of view, whatever you say in Scottish is
too.
funny. Like,
Yeah.
just because of the articulation or
it's
something.
like, or sexy or funny
Yeah.
or, you know.
It's just funny.
Yeah. And he's married to Sarah Millican, eh?
No, that's Gary Delaney. Or
Oh, fuck. What the hell am I
Gary Delaney was
Right,
or
okay.
is, I don't know.
Deleted. Yeah, no,
Getting
that's
your
right.
comics all mixed up now.
I am.
Yeah.
Too many comics, you know. Not enough brain cells.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, okay, anyways, doesn't matter, but no, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I always liked him.
Yeah.
I don't care about his history. I don't know what's going on, but whatever.
Well, I know that some comedians get political, and people don't like that, and I get it, because there's some comedians I don't like when they get political too. So I get
Some
it.
of them are like to make jokes always about women. Like, who cares? It's just jokes, you know, like, whatever.
People are sensitive.
I'm not
sometimes.
going to take it personally.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
I
Anyways.
enjoy them, and if you enjoy them, there's, like I said, there's a whole playlist of Frankie.
I do too.
And go watch. We've done some of his full shows, and I think there's a couple jokes he used from one of his shows in there. About the Mel Gibson joke. I think I've heard that one.
There's one that I'd heard before.
I remember that joke.
I can't remember which one now, but yeah, it's in there. It was like almost in the beginning there part, but
Comedians are going to do that though, right? They're going to use the jokes they know, and they'll use them on different shows.
course,
And YouTube has kind of exposed that now, because
just look at him. He's like such a plagiarist. Like, he uses everybody's jokes, you know, even mine. Pawns them off as his own.
all day in the kitchen, she'll pull a joke supposedly out of her arse, but it's really out of our channel. All day long.
Instead of his big arse.
And you'll tell the kids the jokes like it was your own.
Like, you don't do that. Oh, he's such
all original
such
jokes.
a liar.
All original.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's full of shit. Anyways, okay. Frankie Boyle. Love him.
How many redheads does it take to run a YouTube channel? 1. Executive producer.
But producer. And then the producer. First fucking day with a new tongue. Can't talk, but
I used to be a redhead.
Used to be, now he's just a retard. Yeah, his pubes don't count though.
I don't know. I got nothing. I'm big.
I've got plenty, but I'm not going to say it right now.
All right.
Okay, anyways.
I'm trying to be funny. I don't know. Okay, see ya.
He's not funny.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it. I'm getting out of here.
في أكبر